The Dreamcast unfortunately had a very short lifespan, lasting only up until 2001. This also marked the end of Sega being a console manufacturer and becoming a strictly third-party company. But before the Dreamcast was game-ended, we got one more mainline Sonic game on the console, the sequel to 1998 Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. Now I'm in the vocal minority with this and I'm very aware of that, but I'm gonna start off this video by telling you all that I do not like this game. It sits at number 5 in my top 5 least favorite Sonic games, and I will say that shit with my chest. So if you've reached the point where you don't like hearing slander of your favorite Dreamcast video game, then it's probably best to skip this one and wait till next time. But if you're still here, let's talk shit about Sonic Adventure 2. I'm kidding. I'm gonna be more fair with this one, I promise. But why exactly do I dislike this game so much? What did it do to me? Did it beat my kids? Did it fuck my wife? Let's take a walk and find out. But before we get into all that, this video is sponsored by your girlfriend giving me back rubs while your older sister cuts my fruits to precise. So if you're cool with that, let's go. Sonic Adventure 2 was released in North America on June 19, 2001 on the Dreamcast. The game saw an updated re-release on the GameCube the following year on February 11, 2002 in the form of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. The big new super cool thing for this game was that you'd be able to play as the villains this time around too, as well as these vanilla ass niggas. Just like the last game, we have 6 playable characters. Snacko, Talisman, and Niggles all make a return, but instead of Amy, Gamma, and this sexual accident, we have Dr. Eggman and newcomers Shadow the Hedgehog and Rouge the Bat. While we have the same amount of characters, the number of playstyles were cut in half. Sonic and Shadow handle the speedy platforming that Sonic was known for in Adventure 1, though this time around the level design is a bit more linear than it is in Adventure 1. Now, before someone starts yelling at me about this, yes, I know there are branching paths in some of the stages, but there isn't nearly as much freedom here. I will say, Sonic does feel better to control here, and I like the changes made to the Lightspeed dash and attack. Shadow is the new guy in town, having a design that in no way, shape, or form resembles Sonic whatsoever, and I'm sure the characters in this game fully understand that.
Is that you, Sonic? Are you trying to spoil my plans again?
According to eyewitnesses at the scene, the suspect was identified as the world-renowned hero, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, Sonic! I thought I'd never see you again! I'm so glad you made it!
How the fuck? Anyways, Shadow is honestly just another version of Sonic gameplay-wise, to be honest, and there really isn't that much a difference between the two. Tails and Eggman adapt Gamma's gameplay from Adventure 1. There isn't a time limit this time, and the two of them feel a bit more stiff to control than Gamma does, but other than that, I think they're an upgrade from him. Their level design is also pretty linear, but I'll be nice and cut them a bit more slack given their gameplay style. Now, what I'm gonna guess is that somebody broke Tails' legs, and that's why he decided to run around in a mech this time instead of on foot like in the last game, because otherwise, I don't really see a...
Oh, that creep never gives up!
But how did he manage to harness all that energy?
Alright then, I guess his legs aren't broken, he's just being a lazy fuck. Something about this just doesn't feel right, but it is what it is. I guess this is what happens when you're a last minute decision in the planning. That's not what that says, but I'm going to stick with it. And now we get to Knuckles and Rouge, and oh boy, okay. These two adapt Knuckles' gameplay from Adventure 1, with looking for shards of the Master Emerald, and in some rare cases, other objects. Now, Knuckles and Rouge feel better to control here than Knuckles did in Adventure 1, and it's much easier to perform certain attacks and moves. Rouge is like a kicking version of Knuckles. She's the other newcomer, and yeah, I feel like Sonic Team knew what they were doing here, but she's an animal, so it's weird. But again, the gameplay sounds like it's better on paper, right? So what's the problem exactly? Well, remember this joke I made from my last video?
His stages consist of him looking for shards in the Master Emerald, 3 in each stage to be exact, with a radar system that helps you detect whatever emerald piece is nearby and doesn't do something stupid like track them one at a time. What dumbass would ever think that that would be a good idea? I hope the system stays the same and they don't try to change it into something worse and unnecessary, because that would be really, really dumb.
Well, someone in Sonic Team's planning room came into work one day and was just like, the way we handled the gameplay style the first time was perfect. Too perfect. So why don't we just fuck it up? Did you guys like that? That was supposed to be my impression of a businessman inside of an office. I hope I did pretty good, because if not, then my wife's not gonna be back in the house. So for some godforsaken reason, these niggas thought it'd be a good idea to change the way the radar works from how it was in Adventure 1. Last time we were here, the radar picked up whatever shard was close by, regardless of how many you had. In this game, the shards are now tracked one at a time. You know what that means, boys and girls? That's right, it means extra unnecessary time is going to be wasted now. Someone is going to go off talking about how this isn't that big of a deal, but check it for a second. What could have been a 2 to 3 minute stage could now be a 5 to 8 minute one, because your red, black, white ass could be running around right past the shard and you're missing it, and you'd never know because these niggas decided to shut off their brain sensors. I just feel like this was an unnecessary change. Unnecessary thing to change. That's what the script says. Of everything that could have been altered from Knuckles' gameplay, the last game, that's not what that says. The radar was not one of these things. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not too mad about it. It's still fucking stupid though. All in all, I feel like the gameplay experience here wasn't as enjoyable as it is in Adventure 1 in my personal opinion. Sonic and Shadow might control better, but their levels aren't as fulfilling as Sonic's from the first game. Tails and Eggman are just there to me because I honestly don't really enjoy their stages either, and I think the idea of Tails running around in a mech when he has properly functioning legs is kind of weird, and Knuckles and Rouge are also just less enjoyable given the fact that they fucked over the radar system and just overall made their stages a chore. Crazy thing is, just like how the gameplay is less enjoyable than last time, the story is also less enjoyable than last time. You know how it goes. Eggman discovers Shadow in a military base and he introduces the Fat Man to the Eclipse Cannon on the Space Colony Arc. The cannon has the ability to destroy the entire planet if powered by all 7 Chaos Emeralds, so it becomes a race between the sides of good and evil to see who wins. That's so cool. Like, you get to choose a side and decide who's gonna come out on top, and guess what? It doesn't matter, because there's a final story segment that has both sides working together to stop the Ark from crashing into the planet. So what was the point of Eggman threatening to blow the shit up in the first place if he wasn't actually gonna stick to that shit? Follow-up question, why allow you to think that you'd be able to choose a side like that if it wasn't gonna matter in the long run? You know, questions that'll also come up in another game that I don't want to talk about right now, and we're going to have to eventually get to it at some point. But, you know, food for thought. That's not the only thing about this story that's pretty fucking stupid. Let's go down the list, shall we? Let's talk about how every single character in the game somehow mistook Shadow for Sonic, because that makes sense. Amy did this dumb shit too, but like, at this point, I'm not surprised. Let's talk about how Shadow somehow mistook Maria's wishes for wanting to make people happy for mass genocide. Yeah, I hate when that happens. The pyramid having a fucking space shuttle inside of it, Rouge not asking one of her fellow gun soldiers to let her out of the vault, Eggman threatening to blow up the Earth, the planet, that's not what that says, but then looking at his grandfather kind of crazy for wanting to do it the same thing, that's not, Planet, what? Prison Island blowing up without any hesitation, that says mention, what the fuck am I talking about? If everyone made it off, and my favorite, Sonic manages to perform a chaos control with a fake emerald, and only after seeing Shadow do it once. I do not care what anyone says, because this is fucking stupid. What the fuck? This is so stupid. This nigga has never done this shit before a day in his life. He didn't even know chaos control was a thing until a few days prior to this. So how did he even do this? Plot convenience. That's how. The story is so fucking weird. I can't stand it. There's so much going on, and a lot of it doesn't make any sense. Shit being done to service the plot. Very questionable making. That's not what that says. Very questionable decision making, and just an overall unenjoyable experience. I guess the awful presentation kind of makes it more entertaining.
Hey, it's not his speed. He must be using the Chaos Emerald to warp Shadow.
Faker, I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh? You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you eat those words.
Actually, never mind. If I didn't know any better, I would say that those last two clips had a cricket in it. Y'all remember what happened last time a cricket decided to come here and interrupt my video? I don't know why there's a cricket out there making noise at 12:47 in the afternoon, but you know what? We're just going to pretend he's not there. We're just going to keep going and get through this because I'm not going to go. I don't want to go through that again. So let's just hurry up. So we got through the gameplay and story, and I've been nothing but disappointed. Now you might be asking yourself, damn, is there anything this lame-ass nigga doesn't find disappointing? Well, surprisingly, yes. I bet you saw this coming, but the music in this game is actually really good. Do I like it more than Adventure 1's soundtrack? I bet you saw this coming too, but no, I don't. This is not me saying the music is bad because I quite literally just said the opposite, but I just feel like Adventure 1 just has more variety. We still got some bangers though. It's pretty damn good music. The main theme for this game, Live and Learn, is also pretty alright, but it's far from one of my favorite vocal Sonic tracks. I'll put Open Your Heart over it any day, and I will die on this hill alone if I have to. Now, something that I will say is an improvement in this game over Adventure 1 is the Child Garden. Yes, the greatest form of side content in a Sonic game is back, and it's in its best iteration yet. All of the characters are able to raise the Chow, just like last time, and hey, wait a goddamn minute, Tails' legs really do work, so what the fuck? There is so much more you can do this time around with these little blue freaks now that that's not what that says. Now, when raising them, and alongside the return of the Chow racing, SA2 Battle gives us the Chow Karate, where you can beat you don't beat them, where you can watch your child beat the shit out of other people's children. This can't be legal, right? The Chow Garden and this bullshit aren't the only things that saw changes, as this is the game to introduce the ranking system that's basically a series staple now. A is the highest rank you can get, with E being the lowest. Here's a fun fact about Soulite. During his first playthrough of Adventure 2, Security Hall, the stage that almost everyone hates, is the game, that's not what that says, is the stage where he got his first A rank on his first try. Here's the fucked up part about that. He played through and beat the hero side story before playing the dark side, meaning his dumbass did not get an A rank on a single Sonic or Shadow stage up to this point. Ain't that just so funny and quirky? No? Well, fuck off. Who asked you anyway? SA2 also brings back the emblems from the first game, this time with 800. That's not what that says. How did I do that shit fucking twice in a row? This time with 180 emblems. I swear to you I'm not stupid. Spread out between the main stages, their side objectives, the Chow Garden, among other things. Oh my god. Another fun piece of side content is the kart racing. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I just need to mention it for the review. So, yeah. The last thing I want to talk about today is the multiplayer. If you get bored of playing with yourself, pause, and you actually have friends around, there's a multiplayer mode where you can partake in wacky minigames with your buddies. I will say to this day, SA2 has the best multiplayer in any mainline game, but there isn't really much competition, so, yeah, spaghetti. All in all, Sonic Adventure 2 is one of my least favorite games in the series. I personally feel like it's a step down from Adventure 1 in a lot of ways, and it just doesn't click with me like it does with everyone else. And just to make myself clear here for a second, this isn't an attempt at me trying to, quote, be different and just hating on something because it's popular. I couldn't give two shits, or two fucks, or whatever the fuck that says, if it's popular or not. I personally just don't really like the game. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna go out of my way to go get on other niggas for liking the shit. If they like it, that's what's up. I just don't want niggas getting all rowdy in the comments if they do see this video and start coming crazy at me like there isn't a pipe bomb in their The point is, I don't like the shit. That's my business, that's a me thing. I know niggas get really defensive when it comes to defending this blue fuck and they start bugging out, so let me be the one to tell you and let you all know in advance that I don't really care. I know I said I don't want niggas bugging out, but realistically speaking, they're gonna do it anyway, and also realistically speaking, they're gonna be talking to themselves, because I'm not gonna care. At the end of the day, it's a fucking opinion. Instead of arguing with me over the quality of a Sonic the Hedgehog video game, you need to be arguing with me over the quantity of bitches you got. Anyways, this video definitely should not have taken me over a month to finish, but we move regardless. Next time on whatever the hell this is, we'll be looking at a game that I actually like in the form of Sonic Heroes. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Oh, you're not? Well, fuck off. We'll ask you anyways.